She's the author that got us obsessed with Why Choose. We've been screaming about her from the very start. And today she is finally joining us. Welcome back, Bookshelf Besties. I'm Christy.
And I'm Julia. And today we are talking to Rebecca Quinn about the men we can't stop thinking about and exactly how much pain she has planned for us in her next series. So let's get her on because we are ready with like so many questions.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
Thank you for coming on. It's
Oh
finally
my
happening.
No,
God.
It's finally happening.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
I feel like we've talked about like having you as a guest for so long. Like
Yeah.
before we were even like ready to start doing like author Q&As, we're like we have to get Becky on.
Yeah.
Aw. And
So
I love you guys, so you know I would. Anytime, guys.
clearly.
Yeah, totally. It's mutual. Don't worry.
Literally. I don't have a tattoo on my butt for no reason.
Yeah, I know. That's yeah.
I
The
got to
highest
tell
honor.
someone I got to tell someone else about it yesterday. I went and got a tattoo from like someone else.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about books and I recommended obviously. And I was like, you have to read it. It's so good. I got a tattoo on my ass for it. And she's like, what do you mean? And I told her the whole thing and she's like, okay.
That's the ultimate recommendation. Somebody who's tattooed it on their body gets like automatic, like major
Yeah.
points, I think.
It must be amazing. You have to read it.
Yeah.
Next level.
Yeah.
Cool. So are we ready to jump in the questions? Yes? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
So what made you want to become an author?
Yeah, so I think like probably a lot of authors, reading was the number one thing. Obviously, yeah, big reader growing up. I love the like art of storytelling. I love what it kind of means. I feel like there's a quote from Edith in there, like, you can never see through so many like eyes when you as when you're reading books. And I think it's just like the ultimate exercise in empathy, in trying to understand other people, trying to understand yourself. I feel like it's just the place where new ideas get to be presented and these big feelings and all these different lives you get to live when you're reading, and it feels like that when you're writing as well. I just love what it does. I love that it's a place where you can have just such a big voice, and I feel like art in all its forms, is the kind of thing that has the power to kind of inspire change, or to, just give people a moment that, of meaning, of feeling, of entertainment, whatever they need in their life at that particular moment. And I don't know, it's just the ultimate, reading and writing is just like the ultimate place of joy for me. I just, I love it. So,
And I love that response.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt like the more you kept talking, the more wholesome
Yeah.
it felt. And I'm just like, yes, yes. And I'm in my head, I'm like, you know what? This makes a lot of sense. Like Eden is a reader, and like we've got these like beautiful quotes about like reading and writing and everything like that. And I'm just like, oh, my heart.
Yeah.
and it's right, like everybody in this like kind of bookish space has that kind of like love of that kind of thing as well. And I just think it's just a yeah, and I think from that side of things, it's a really nice place of like connecting over those kind of same moments, and that's a really pretty beautiful thing as well. That
It
one.
is. It is beautiful. So I guess like building on that, what is your favorite genre and trope to read?
To read, I've always been a big romance lover. Like I like always have been reading romance. But fantasy was my big love. So I've been reading both for a very long time. A lot of sci-fi too, speculative fiction in general. I just love, but I'll read a bit of anything. Like I read cozy mysteries, I love crime, I love like, it depends what I'm in the mood for. But
Yeah.
definitely romance and definitely fantasies are always like my go-to. So, and then when Why Choose came along, obviously that was dominating
Yeah.
for a good while.
And okay, so full confession,
I don't think I had ever heard of like the why choose genre until Christy was telling me about your book. And it was like episode 5 or something of our podcast.
Yeah.
And she's like explaining like
Yeah,
book
yeah.
1. And I'm like, this is a thing in actual books.
Like totally. It's like it was so mine because I came across it when I was editing. I was freelance editing, like book editing. One of my clients was a Why Choose author, and then she sent me down the rabbit hole of a whole bunch of things. She actually the first series that she recommended to me was Curse of the Gods by Jane Washington, who I've since like connected with. We've done like a bunch of things. Who, by the way, is just like a kick-ass human and so, so lovely. But like it's kind of really fun to have gone full circle with a bunch of that kind of thing as well. So yeah. But yeah, it blew my mind as well. First reading that, it's like, oh my God, what do you mean I get to fall in love like 5 times? This is amazing.
Like all that attention, all that love, like, stop it.
So much drama. And I think because of the fantasy side of my reading as well, I really love a bromance. Like I love it. I love platonic friendships between men and women. I love the emotional intimacy between them. I love like exploring those connections as like almost as much, definitely as much, I think, as I love the romance and the falling in love part of it. So like it's just for me, just like this ultimate like cataclysm of like romance, bromance, found family, like all of those kind of things that I just like love so much. So yeah.
100% agree. 100% agree. Okay, when did you realize this was your genre? So the why choose / dystopian.
That's funny actually, because I hadn't fully decided on it at that point. I had a critique partner when I basically after I've been writing for a very long time. Like I've been writing I did a creative writing degree back in university. So I've always just written as a hobby in the background. But I never really got serious about it until like when I was on maternity leave, and I was just like my brain was just starved for, and it was during COVID, so like just that isolation and just like needing something something. So I got more serious about it, and I just I had a critique partner at the time and I had a couple different whips, and I sent over a few, and I basically said, look, I love all of these, but tell me what you vibe with, and then I'll just run with that. And she picked Brutes, so the earliest one was that. So yes, exactly. So I ended up writing it off that, and then the more I wrote it, the more I love it. So I kind of fell into it. Like I've still got a lot of other MF and other types of other romances sitting there that aren't Why Choose, but for the moment, yeah, I'm still feeling the
The world.
But yeah, I think it'll be probably more what the story calls for. Like I think some stories make a lot of sense as Why Choose, and some don't. So I'll go where they take me.
I like that.
Yeah.
Also, at the same time, I feel like whatever you decide to write, we're just gonna like eat it up.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
Well, that's the thing in like, I mean, even Sinners, and I guess minor spoilers for anybody who hasn't read book 3 and know that this is coming out. So
that's on them now.
Yeah. If you haven't read that, then but like that won't be a Why Choose, and because that doesn't make sense as a Why Choose to me. Like I mean, Bentley and Mateo are both gay. They're not interested in Heather, and vice versa, like at all. So that's not but I mean, I think the found family comes in different ways with them. That's the only thing. So so that one didn't make sense as Why Choose, whereas obviously Brutes, baby cakes definitely did.
Yeah, they had to be.
There
was no choosing. No. I tell you, okay, we do have a question to expand on that, but like later on. But like later. Sure. While we're still doing writing kind of questions, are you a plotter or a pantser?
I'm a big plotter.
Yep.
I love the structure. I love the organization. There is a certain part of me, I do like to I don't like to have things so locked down that I can't move at all, because there are times where things come up and it doesn't make sense for that character anymore, or how things start playing out on the page, and I start realizing, oh, I don't think he would feel this way about this in this situation. Like, it's not feeling right, or he would act differently. Like, I remember just thinking throughout the entire series, trying to figure out how, like, because I was kind of thinking quite for a very long time that there wasn't a group scene wasn't going to be possible with this group, because I just couldn't find a way to get Jake in there. That was the biggest thing, and I was like, look, I'm not going to force it if it's not, if I don't have a thing that feels right for his character.
Yeah.
I did find a thing that felt right for his character.
Thank you.
A really pivotal moment for him and for the book, and he needed that. That's I guess for me that ended up being the emotional turning point of the entire book.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so but I do really like a plot. I like knowing where I'm going, especially because I really like to layer things in. So I really like to know where I'm going so that I can fit details in, clues in, so I know things that are happening in the background that I can foreshadow, that I can have these moments sitting there. But and I really hate rewriting. So I really hate it. I hate it so much. I can write, if I write, all the way through, but then I get stuck on a chapter and I'm like, oh, this has to be from someone else's point of view, or I have to change it, or it's not working for whatever reason and I have to rewrite it. I will sit on that for weeks compared to just writing like straight through. It's like I hate it.
I love the passion. I love that you've started answering these questions. I'm like, yeah, I'm a plotter. I like to like organize and like list out everything. And it's mainly because I don't want to have to rewrite.
I don't want to rewrite. I hate it so long. So time consuming. Oh my God, it's so miserable. I remember in the first book, it wasn't even rewriting, but like I went back, I finished the book, and then I was feeling like something was missing. Like I was like, oh, I really need an early scene between Dom and Bo to really show their relationship and where it's at, and like all of and that kind of relationship. And so I went back and I wrote in the scene with him and Dom in the woods, the first scene, the married bickering and then them going out, which ended up being one of my favorite. I love that scene between them. I love it so much. It sets up their dynamic. I love it. I love it. But God damn it, that took me probably 3 months to get right, because I felt like I was done with the book, and then I had to go back in and I had to make it all, obviously line up and all the details, so it's making don't make me do it. No, horrible.
That's brilliant.
But this is what I mean. I answering questions briefly is not my strong suit. I'm sorry.
You're fine. These are great.
It's the tomes of books that you see behind you as well. Brevity is not my strong suit. So
big is better.
I'm saying.
Okay, following on from that, what is your ideal writing setup? Do you write to music, silence,
coffee, wine?
I feel like I go through phases of a lot of different things. Like honestly, the absolute ideal conditions for me to be writing is when I'm holidaying with no responsibilities, when I'm sitting in bars and having some drinks and people watching, and I'm in like a foreign city and there's things going on around me, but people aren't talking to me, and I'm just like vibing. That is the ultimate way for me to write quickly. When I wrote a lot of Ensnared while I was living in Edinburgh and while I was traveling around that. But I can't recreate that like all of the time. So unfortunately. So like when I'm at home, it's like almost the opposite. When if there's mild distractions, I can't like it's yeah. So I have a lot of the time I've been just locking myself away. And I've been trying to do, the big writers will say, try to just do, you do your 2,000 words a day or whatever. You don't get up until you've written your 2,000 words and then you just do that every day. That is not, I've not really, that sounds really healthy. I've really, really tried, but I've found that there are a lot of days where I'll sit there and I'll stare at my screen and not be able to like get anything done. If I have my week interrupted by a lot of things, it's really hard to get in the zone to write a lot. So what I find I end up doing is I have to go for like a walk in the morning and get some input, like just some fresh air, some like, like a thing. And then if I can just sit down and write all the way through, what I tend to do better, it's not healthy, it's not recommended, but I need if I have an impending deadline, I don't see Austin or Daniel for like 2.5 months, and I just write 6 or 7 days a week, and I basically don't leave the story. So I'll just like go to bed quite late. I will wake up, go for a walk, and then sit down and then just write up until like all the way through the day, and then I will go to bed and I'll do the same thing. As few interruptions, as few breaks, as few like things I can do. If I can just stay getting it out, then I can zoom it out so much faster. Like I basically did that with Entwined in the end. Like I had been writing it for so long, and then ultimately I was like, you know what? I need to have the pressure, because I was trying to take the pressure off because I was getting hives and I was stressing so much. But then I'm like, you know what? I think I actually just need it. I need it, and I just need to be miserable for like 2 months. Well, not miserable, because it's like great being in the zone. Like it's great when it's flowing and it feels really productive, but it's bad for like my social life. Like I just like don't see anyone. Daniel's doing all of the heavy lifting. But yeah. So in short, I have a process. It's not a healthy process. But I'm about to go and do like I'm, I've got a big chunk of Sinners done, but I'm about to go in and just do my like crazy mindless zone thing at the moment and just blitz it out. So yeah. I just won't talk to anyone. I just won't do anything. And I will just go. But yeah, I just have to, I had to sell my house, but we just accepted an offer on it. So
yay.
So
that's exciting.
So we've sold the house. If we can just move into one, like find one to move into, then Daniel's gonna handle all of that and I'm just gonna like focus on
You're literally
writing.
Gonna lock yourself in the writing cave.
Yeah. You're just gonna go from one writing cave to another writing cave one day.
Yeah.
That's just gonna be
exactly.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna like just pick up my chair and just like dump me in the other room and just like leave me there. But yeah. Anyway, that was a very long-winded answer.
That was great.
And like at first we're like, yes, she can only write when she's on holiday. How much of an awesome author life is this?
God,
like
it would be
going on holiday
good
to write. I was like, wait a minute. Who can go on holiday all the time?
All the time. Yeah. Well, I went to last year, I went just before I really got into Entwined. I went to Thailand for 2 weeks and just with my sister, and we just like that started me off. So I got into the zone there, and then I came home and then I did my like crazy intense period after that. But yeah, I'm gonna say that was a necessary part of it, and I should totally have to do that all the time.
It's fine. Just put it on tax.
Yeah, my accountant said it's not necessarily tax deductible, but
we can try.
Figure something out.
Bristlebrook.
Yes.
Okay. Obviously, we have read your books. We have read them back and forth multiple times, whatever. A lot.
Yeah.
If you could describe your book or your Bristlebrook.
Bristlebrook.
I'm sorry. This is a running joke between Christy and I because as soon as we start talking about your books in episodes, I can't say Bristlebrook. I just can't.
It's the Bristlebooks. It makes sense. I feel like
Stop. I'm gonna read it. So, if you could describe the world of your brutes, there you go, in 3 words, what would they be?
Ooh, I guess I mean survivalist
Mhm.
probably is one. Um, Spicy and family.
Yeah.
I think family definitely. They're all a
Yes.
family.
Yep. I feel
Yeah.
like we definitely had to have something about the spice in there and the
Yeah,
survival.
I mean,
But yes,
it's
family, as
not
soon as you said
really.
it, I was like, yeah, that's perfect. That's a perfect 3 words to describe them.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This I really like this question.
We really want to know, okay?
So
Okay.
let's go back to the beginning. What
Mm.
inspired the world of Brutes of Bristlebrook?
Well done. Thank
Yeah. So a few things. A lot of Walking Dead. Um,
Ooh.
so minus zombies. So Walking Dead was definitely one of them. I think between that and reading a lot of Why Choose was a big like I definitely had a family, but I had a few of the characters that have been sitting in my head for a really long time. Lucky being one of them, Jake as another, and Dom especially. But I had them in different stories and they weren't really fitting, even though I really liked the characters themselves. They just weren't right where I had them. So I kind
They
of had them
hadn't
there and
found
then
their Eden.
they hadn't found their family. And then as soon as I started writing this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can see how like these boys will fit together. Like they felt right together. They felt like I could see how they're different, having this kind of shared past, but also so many differences, so many hang-ups and so many things that kind of like sit on top of each other for and against and how they kind of play together. There's like some really nice tension between them, but also like enough similarities that I could just see them fitting as a family. So um it was kind of a combination of all of those things, just the right kind of story coming at the right time with these characters that I already was in love with. Um Finding Bo for Dom and getting them together was like and Jasper for Lucky, like that they were big moments.
It
So
was because like I noticed when you mentioned like the characters that you had thought of already and were sitting in your brains, I'm like,
mm,
we're missing their bromance. Like that was
yeah,
the missing key here was like we're missing
they
their
needed
bromance.
totally they needed their other people, like they needed their other
Yes.
part to be able to make sense, I think, in those things, and they didn't have them in the other stories, so it wasn't, yeah, it
They
just didn't
weren't
work.
complete.
So they weren't.
I love that.
I
I
was
love
gonna
it.
I was gonna say they were missing their bromate, like soulmate.
Pretty much, though. Like really,
I
and
like that reference.
Eden, the right FMC, they really needed the right girl to fall in love with as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it feels right for them.
Yeah.
So this is like another question like we're also really curious about. And you did tell us before you were a plotter,
Yeah.
but when you started writing Brutes, did you always know how it would end? Like, did you plot all the way through to like book 3, or has that ending kind of surprised you along the way?
Um, yeah, so I did have a lot of it and there were some things that surprised me. So I always knew it would be 3 books. I always knew about the Sinners, about the arc with them. I knew about Alistair and Mateo. But the Reapers were a thing that surprised me, I will
Me too.
say.
Same.
Um, I think when I was having my break, down break, whatever we call it, it's my mental
Amazing.
be. We I was it was a lot of it was me struggling with like the fact that I had planned so much of this, but something wasn't coming together right for me. I feel like a lot of people, I've had a few shifts in perspectives, and the kind of story, the kind of parts of the story that had been starting to call to me through the series had shifted a little bit. um there was a lot of things that I had set up that I was seeing a different angle on that I kind of wanted to explore. And some of that was to do with the Brutes accountability, was to do with the more subtle dangers for women, as not just the kind of overt ones. The kind of vulnerability in trust that sits there as well, and um, that it's not just an emotional danger, I guess, but it can ultimately be a physical one, especially in this kind of world. And um, a fair bit of feminine rage coming through that as well. So those kind of things colliding for me a little bit. The Reapers initially, like in the original version of it, they were present, but they were going to be a more sympathetic kind of force. But I didn't like it. But changing that and working it around required a fair bit of reworking of the story and the story structure that I had planned. So I had to go back to the drawing board on a lot of things to make sure it was still like working. But I'm really glad I did it, because I feel like it ended up being a much stronger story because of that. I think it pulls together a lot more like themes and things that I wanted to say with it in a much stronger way than if I'd had it otherwise. And yeah, I was quite proud of that in the end. So
Oh, you
yes,
should
I
be.
had
Yeah.
planned a bunch, but yeah, some things surprised me, and then I needed to figure out how to fix it,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah.
So
Because I
yeah.
know like the Reapers surprised me.
Mhm.
You got me good. You got me really good. When it
Same.
came to like the revelation part of
Mhm.
Entwined.
Yep,
Entwined?
yep.
Yes, Entwined. Sorry, like I know the names of all three of them.
Oh no, don't worry.
And
I
then
do it all the time as well. All the
I
time.
feel fine then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when I got to that revelation part about Entwined, my tiny little brain was like,
Literally.
what? I'm like, what do you mean they're not the good guys? What do you
Mm,
mean Alistair was like
Yeah.
good in the, it
well,
was
Yeah.
just there was so much that like my brain was like, Becky Quinn got me.
Literally.
Got me
oh, I'm
good.
glad. Because I think that's the other thing for me as well that I find I kind of enjoyed about writing that as well is um the kind of shades of grey that comes in
Yeah.
between. It's not just A- Alistair who's messy, but all of these other characters who we're seeing, and including the Brutes. Like I
Yeah.
don't want the Brutes, and I like the idea of them kind of seeing the mistakes that they might have made and the ways that their actions might have shadowed problematic behaviors as well, and kind of having to think about that as
Yeah.
well. But I found it was really fun to kind of write that and to have that kind of sitting in the background and to like try to and God, what it like it's a to try and bury clues and have them there so that on a reread that somebody might be able to
Mhm.
read that and go, oh, that's
Yeah.
what they meant by that.
Mhm.
Or as opposed to but also not give it away too easily. So I mean, and different readers will obviously read different things depending on their own stuff, like pick up on different things. But yeah, it was fun. That was
Yeah.
fun. That was a fun like
Yes.
writing exercise. And Jason Clark just delivered the Reapers beyond my wildest dreams in the audio as well. Like he was so incredible.
Yeah.
I knew he was an excellent actor, but yeah, so versatile. Just
It's like
yeah, he
another
really
level.
nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him sobbing as Pete in the like last I just like I had to stop and be like, I'm sorry. What what is
Yeah.
this? Yeah,
Duh.
it was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even have words for
No, like your audiobooks are just like
yeah.
they're next level. Like
Like
they
Thank
really they really did such an amazing job bringing a story to life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
100%. It's like I always say it's a cinematic experience for your ears. Like the writing and the books itself is already so immersive and like
Thank
incredible.
you.
Obviously, I'm obsessed. But then you also listen to the audio and it's just insane. Like it's
Oh,
absolutely
for me, I feel
insane.
like I actually get to enjoy my books that way because when I'm reading the words, I nitpick over everything, and I'm always thinking about, "Oh, I could have phrased that better, or I should have done this." But when I hear it, their performances are so compelling that I can
Yeah,
actually just like enjoy it. So, yeah, I love them so much. I love the narrators so much. So,
I love that.
yeah.
I know you kind of already answered it, but
Mm.
who came first out of the brutes? Was it Lucky that came first? Like in your mind, like when you
We're
thought
not
of a
talking
character?
about physically. We're talking about
No,
like
that was
character.
Jasper. That was Jasper.
The answer to both. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Lucky was first. I've always had. Yeah. I love a Lucky type character, and also I just find him like he's the biggest green flag out of all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, even from book one, he calls them out on the most stuff. But I Lucky came first. Um, and then yeah, like I had Jake and Dom from different stories. So they came in. Once I figured out those three sitting there, I kind of knew I needed someone to soften Dom and someone to that he could really lean on, and that Lucky needed someone to rein him in. So um and he needed someone that turned him from just a happy-go-lucky puppy into someone who, has real feelings and depth and angst and yearning and all of those things. So
I like that.
Jasper,
Yep.
Jasper's always been tricky, but I love him. So
Yes, I love him.
he's great. And I love him and Lucky are one. So
They're a good pairing.
Yeah. I just
I
say
could write
no.
a whole book just about them. I could write a whole book
I would read a whole book.
Same.
just like their psychology sessions. Like I could read an entire book. I could write an entire book on that. But um
We are there.
We're
I
sat,
don't want
we're
it. I mean,
waiting.
but then I wouldn't be eating there, so maybe after. Yeah.
Fine.
Oh.
I'm actually okay. I'm curious, but have you noticed like a fan favorite brute from your readers?
Oh, it's so funny because I mean it changes from book to book, but
Yeah, I get
I
that.
on my Facebook in my Facebook group, one of the questions to enter is like, who's your favorite brute? Because I was
Yeah,
just curious. I was just curious, and everyone's got their own fans for sure.
It's Jacob.
Jake has a lot. Jake had a lot. I do think he maybe dipped a little bit for people in book three because I have this thing where I really don't want any of my characters to get away with their bad behavior entirely. Like there's things that read as endearing when they're in small doses and when they're over like, these kind of things. But when the full brunt of them as issues come out, they're really fucking annoying and they need to be dealt with. Like they are such a problem. He's a problem.
Yeah.
He's a great problem to have,
Yeah.
but he's a problem. And in book three, he's so fucking frustrating. He
Oh
was so
yeah.
frustrating to write. He's frustrating to read, and I get that. But it's him. He needed to come together with the guys, not trying to make a pun.
Pun
But he
intended.
needed to have his turning point with the men. Like
yes.
him and Eden were one thing, but the lack of trust and the broken trust between him and the other guys has been there since book one and had been not been getting better. Like nobody really had been making an effort, a genuine effort to fix it. They all needed to be able to get over it, come together
Yeah.
to heal those things and to rebuild that trust if they were ever going to be a family. So,
Yeah.
yes. But so Jake. I think he still does come out on top for a lot of people. But it depends. A lot of people who prefer the feel good characters, they will always go Lucky and Bo, and you can always tell because they'll be like, oh, Jake and Jasper, no. And then we get vice versa as well. There's Jasper was like really obviously low in book one as far as people who liked him the most, but by book three, a lot more people. Dom also got a lot more, especially in book three, a lot more. And book two actually, they started creeping up. But so I feel like it just depends on the
Depends on where you're
Why
on the
choose
series.
anyway? So why choose? We don't have
exactly.
to choose.
Okay, but I'm gonna say
Exactly.
I'm a classic. I'm a Jake girly, so
You're a
I
Jake girly.
I want to know you.
I
You're the
am
why
so
choose.
torn. I'm so torn. I'm like, why choose? Like, I would just have them all, but then I'm torn between Jake and Lucky. Like, it's so hard to
It just
choose.
depends on the day.
I'm a mood
Yeah.
reader. I'm also a mood man. Like,
Yeah.
I have my moods. Sometimes
Again,
I
the
need
benefit of why
Jake.
choose. Yeah. I think Jake, I mean, I get it. There's an appeal with Jake of being such this, like, the gruff exterior, I will be soft only for you. Like, I will, like, being the vulnerability that comes out with just, like, with someone so guarded is just like, how do you, like,
Literally.
he's gorgeous. He's
Yeah.
gorgeous. He's
Yes.
gorgeous.
He's
We
so
love him
great.
for
I
a
just love him.
reason.
I can say
Yeah.
as well, like I've loved how all the brutes, like you were talking about it briefly before, but like I love that they all weren't perfect
Yeah.
characters, that they all had flaws in different ways, and across the three books, they had each of their own individual like growth
Yeah.
to go through.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
all, I guess, antagonists. I wouldn't say villains, but like antagonists in their own way at different points as well because of, yeah, own hang-ups and their own issues. So, yeah,
They just needed therapy.
they they need a lot of therapy. They need more than Jasper can give. Jasper's too close. He's too flawed, man. He can't
Yeah.
therapize these people anymore. What is he doing?
So all the men are very different in the bedroom. Is this something
Hmm.
you purposely did for their characters, or did it come naturally while writing them?
Um, Look, I was conscious that I wanted them to feel different, but also they are very different characters, like fundamentally. So it wasn't difficult to think about, how are they going to. I mean, to me, the spice is always just an extension of who they are as people,
Yeah.
what they want, what they value, what they're afraid of, how they show up as a person in their kind of most vulnerable moments. So, like for Lucky, for example, like to me, so much of it was him valuing connection and joy, him noticing the lack of, like, in such a starved world, how heavy things sit on people. And like in his day death, I think we see him a lot, the way that he deals with trauma, the way he deals with anything is to kind of put a good face on it and to try and hold people together with humor. So to me, it made a lot of sense that he would be playing games, that he would be kind of, pulling for that low stakes, fun, emotional engagement. Um, Jake is very guarded, he wants the pretenses to be stripped away. He doesn't like the games. He doesn't like the tools. He's the opposite. He wants things to be as raw and honest as possible. So him being a more primal kind of person, uh, I think makes 100% of sense for him. That flowed very naturally because he's not going to be playing games like that. He's really just demanding an honest response. Bo's the caretaker, the white knight, he's soft through and through. He's like, he's wanting to. He's got. I mean, I will like. He kind of surprised me a little bit in the how dark he can kind of go, but I also feel like that. As Bo kind of developed, he does have this kind of dark side that he's very, um, he's been taught to vilify himself, any of his temper, any of his negative feelings. Um he's I would say Lucky is much more emotionally regulated in that is a natural part of his personality, whereas Bo has kind of been taught to repress a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so I think him bringing that out and being able to bring out that possessiveness, you see a lot of those the role playing and the kind of different kind of games that he is playing is about ultimately about giving care, but also about it's there's something like a little bit manipulative in a hot way.
Yeah.
But Jasper's sharp edges. So Jasper was easy. Jasper was he him being afraid of himself to a certain extent, and him the psychological games of it, and the kind of but he's also so conscious of consent, and so conscious, like he is so afraid of himself that he is hyper vigilant about a lot of those safety aspects that even some of the others might be a little bit softer on. Like he's far too conscious of them to do that. So all of that felt very natural to his character because it echoes the same things that he's afraid of in himself, him wanting to safeguard against himself. And then Dom, the ultimate in control, the total submission, the total trust is what he craves. This belief in him that he can do this, that he will be able to take care, the ability to give over is to him something that he's afraid people won't do for him, that he doesn't deserve. He's worried he hasn't earned the right for, like, as a leader in general. So for him, having that total surrender in the bedroom is just the ultimate sign of trust that he wants to reward, that he wants to show that he's worthy of. So that made a lot of sense for me too. And then when he's with Bo, this kind of softening of that, and him ability to be able to actually relax a little bit and let himself be taken care of, and be able to invite those softer moments in as well, in a different way, and being able to accept that he can enjoy those things and still be himself is kind of the softening thing with Bo. So yes, I think it did come. I wanted them to be different, but they were so different as people that it wouldn't have made sense for them to be similar in the bedroom anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, I just want to take a moment to say, ever since I read the scene, I can't remember now if it's book 1 or book 2 because I pretty much like marathon those back and forth a few times.
They all blur. Yeah, of course.
But there's a scene in there where we get Dr. Bo role playing for the first time, and he like audio records the scene with himself and Eden. Mother, oh my God. But like, I feel like I've been chasing more audio recordings in books, and it's just something unique I haven't found yet. So like, I know like you were just talking about how sweet and all the differences, and I'm like, okay, but like, can we take a moment to talk about the audio recording Dr. Bo, because girl, that was hot.
That scene was some of those spy scenes just like fall out of me. I wrote that in a day, and I was like, that's one of my favorite scenes out of the entire series as far as fights goes. So I enjoyed that also. There is I can't remember the name of it, but when I've been doing some audiobooks, there's one where Adam Gold is a spicy voice actor in the book, and he does recordings.
Is it a Christmas one?
No, Holly June Smith.
Maybe.
Because he's a spicy audiobook narrator.
Yeah,
he's a spicy audiobook narrator. Okay. I did listen to the audiobook for that one. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was. But that's like, I feel like that's different though compared to what you've put in your book.
Yeah.
If I find something similar, I'll
help a girl out here.
I'll let you know. Yeah.
Because that was one of the best scenes.
It'll compare
No,
to Dr. Bo just whipping out his recorder, but like we can try.
that whole scene.
Dr. Bo,
Oh my
Dr.
God.
Bo
Sorry, I've distracted you
awakened
now.
some things.
That whole scene, I just can't.
Actually, I feel like this kind of flows nicely into one of our next questions. So we love like how realistic the kink representation is. What went into like this research and making sure that you'd done it accurately? Because it's something that I really respect about this series. And like,
Yeah.
yes, there's a lot of like BDSM, but they go through so much to make sure that like she's safe, everyone's safe,
Yeah.
there's consent. I love it. Like, what research went into this?
A fair bit. But I do want to say that it isn't. I still wouldn't say it's a completely
Yeah.
kink accurate for the sake of the story. Like there are
Yes.
things that they let lapse. There are things that happen far too quickly than they would. Things that don't happen until later that should have happened earlier. All for the plot. But just
Yes.
again, to reiterate my every book warning of please do not use this as a complete guide. Don't use it as a complete guide. That said, some of the most helpful things is I have two different kink educators who have beta read the books and give feedback on certain things. So that is a huge resource and a really big help for a lot of
like that
that
a lot. Like I've
as
heard
well.
of sensitivity readers. I haven't heard of like
Yeah.
I guess that level for like kink as well too, but it makes sense.
Well, I got really lucky because one of my good friends was a kink educator as well, and she reads these kind of books already all of the time. So she was quite happy to do it. And then one of my other readers who had read the first book also volunteered and had mentioned that she'd also done a lot of beta reading, but she has done a lot of kink educating. She was a dom. She's worked with a lot of military as well. That was very helpful as well. So yeah, that was all great. And then yeah, just a lot of trying to be mindful, careful, and yeah, there's so much that goes into that world. There's so much that goes into informed consent and how that's handled and how different kinks are handled. It would be impossible to include all of those things in the book and not have it like really slow down or like the pace of a lot of things and it read like an instruction manual, but
Yes.
I do take consent very seriously, and it was important to me that they think about that. And that was another reason why on the story level I kind of wanted them thinking about the greater implications of their deal and all of these other things, because that kind of is very fundamental to this idea of consent through the series. So yeah, but
No,
I love it. It's fun.
I liked it a lot. And like, yeah, what you said is like, you know what, you're right. They're not 100% perfect with it, but I feel like it's very fitting for the story, for the world, especially considering some of the antagonists and their opinions towards women and their roles and everything in the world. But like, I've definitely read a lot of books, and I can say like, that shouldn't have happened that quickly. And some of the things like with Eden, even like, the anal training, for example, like it's not just going in there straight away.
Yeah.
Yes, she got some prep. It was important to me that my girl had some prep.
Okay. Here's a question that I didn't put in there, but the amount of lube in this book, is that one thing like that they decided to raid when the world went to shit? There's always 100%. Lube on it.
Yeah, and when
like,
we're
grabbing like canned food, we're grabbing weapons, we're grabbing lube, like we're set for the apocalypse.
Just like, just barrels of it next to the water. Just try not to mix it up. We've got it on tap. We can just, like water dispensers. They've just got like, it's got lube.
It's just given out as everyone comes to Bristlebrook. Like, here's some lube, complimentary.
Girl is gonna need some slip and slide action, or she's gonna be a like friction freak.
She needs it. She needs it.
Yeah. I don't care how much time they're taking or how like keen she is. That's a lot of D. That's a lot of D, a lot of times.
It was just something I started thinking of by book 3. I'm like, there is always lube handy. Like they're packing a bag to go out for 3 days, lube.
The amount of like oh man, just even the research into like what would have survived after 5 years? Like what is still around? What is still like is wild. Also very bleak. It very made me seriously consider packing a bug out bag at some point to just be like, you know what? Just in case. Like let's
Lube,
you know
cheese,
yeah,
books.
lube cheese. That's all you need. That's fine. That will definitely get you through an apocalypse. We're good. Yeah.
I'm just now thinking about this. Like,
All the lube. So much lube.
okay, did you always know Eden would end up with all 5 men?
Yeah, okay. Because I was one of those readers that was like, I don't know for 3 whole books
Yeah.
if all 5 was actually going to happen. Like I had so many different scenarios
Yeah.
in my head. Is it just going to be these 2 or these 2 or these 4? 5 seemed wildly impossible, but you made it work.
Yes, yes, I did. Mostly because especially as the writing was going on, the connections were there and they felt natural, and it felt like if I would be trying to cut one of them out, which didn't feel natural to that situation, to the story. So yes, she was always going to be with all 5 of them. Yeah,
Yay. Yeah.
no matter
Well, I
my
mean, it makes sense. She's a plotter.
teasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You plotted all my anticipation and questions, so.
I just had, yeah, I had to see them all come together, I think. Oh, God, I keep saying that phrase and I really need
You
to
just see my eyebrows
stop.
are like, yeah, they were.
Yeah. I wanted them all there. There were different iterations really early on of Sinners where I was trying to figure out if there could be other people involved, but honestly, they're not the personalities do not fit for that. So
Makes sense.
especially with the dynamics that are going on, Alistair, it's just such an intense relationship, I guess, if you like hatred, rivalry. It's such a like it's so overwhelming that trying to compete with that with any, not that they're in competition, but like trying to make it feel even-handed and equal, they're kind of overwhelmingly invested in one another, even if I wouldn't call it love for a very long time. It's yes.
Like, I'm definitely curious to read Madison and Alistair
Yeah.
because, like, right now I'm still like, no, I don't see it. I don't see how it's going to work. So I think you're going to pleasantly surprise me with that. I'm just here. I am. I like give me whenever it comes out. I'm just going to be eating my words. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't see it happening. I don't see it working. I don't see me liking it. And you're going to write like magic, and I'm going to be like, okay, yep.
I will say I've already cried so much writing that book. I like, and one of the reasons why that one's a bit hard, like, is trickier in some ways to write is just because it's so emotionally heavy. Like there is so much going on. They're really, really layered people. And we really only see the very, very surface of them in Brutes. By their design, they are both incredibly guarded people in their own ways. And thank God for Bentley for any amount of humor in that book. I gotta say,
Yeah.
Bentley and Mateo are really like pulling that cart along there. But I will say that I don't want to say who yet, but in that mix there is a very, very intense amount of yearning. There is a very, very intense, unforgivable hatred. I'm always reluctant to call things enemies to lovers unless they're really enemies. But Heather she really hates him. She
Yeah.
really wants him dead. But I think it will be really fun. I think it'll be really satisfying, and I really like their characters. I think that they are really messy. I think that the brutes at their core are really honorable, like quite honorable people, or they're even despite their flaws, they're really trying to do the right thing. But I think that this group are all much more flawed. Like they are, and they are aware of their flaws, and they're not necessarily trying to fix them in the same way. There are things that they obviously still have to grow and overcome, but there's a certain level of greyness that they are comfortable with that the brutes are not. So it's
Makes
interesting.
sense. It makes sense. We've seen that a little bit like with the characters that we know.
Yeah.
But yes, but we have many more questions about like what you're coming up writing with. Yeah, there's a few more like brute stuff I want to ask.
Yeah, hit
Ooh,
me.
sorry, I
Didn't
almost fell
mean
off the
to.
chair. Oh my God, you're just knocking the chair out from underneath me, Becky. Stop.
I try.
Okay, so like going back to research, what's the
Mm.
weirdest piece of research that you ever had to Google writing
Oh,
brutes?
the weirdest one. Um,
When does lube expire?
yeah, look. Yes, there's a lot. Yeah, look, there's a lot of the expiry questions, a lot of the kink questions, a lot of pregnancy questions because I really didn't want her to be pregnant. There was
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was writing it during when I was on maternity leave. I was like, I don't want any babies around here.
Yeah.
I love my child, but
Oh no,
not in this
I'm
way.
with you on that. Like I've got
Yeah.
two and I'm pregnant with my third. But I tell you, when a book ends with like marriage and pregnancy, I want to throw it out the window. I'm like, that is not everybody's perfect happy ending.
Look,
So I like
I
that there was
love
no pregnancy.
yeah. Look, I love all of the above. I like people being able to have families when it makes
Mhm.
sense. It kind of goes back to
When it
that
makes
same
sense.
thing when it makes sense for the characters.
When it
I
feels like a natural progression, not a, oh, we're in the
totally.
epilogue, here's a baby.
Yeah, that's the way it has to be. Yeah. So I'm very much a fan of the HEA has to be a HEA for those characters, like
Yes.
whatever that means. So if that means a family, then great. If that means
All
um
five of them in a scene together, amazing.
if that's what that means, then they're finally all together again and they just get to enjoy themselves and being safe for a little while and you
That's
know.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes. But the weird, yeah, look, some of the kink stuff, some of the more intense, like when I was researching all the like a lot of possibilities, because I will say that the further down the sadist line of things, the less my knowledge is, which is a part of the reason why Jasper's scenes aren't particularly like aren't I mean it's necessary for the plot because Eden is kind of nervous, but there's a lot of things people can do to each other that
Mhm.
is great for people who are into it, but are a lot. There are a lot.
Yeah.
There's a
And
lot.
actually, now
There's
that
a
you
lot.
point that out, there's a lot of scenes that happen between Lucky and Jasper that happen behind closed doors, and then we hear
Yeah.
about it as kind of like a recount later.
Mm.
Well, that was for a few reasons. So I was quite conscious of the amount of page time that I was going to have for Bifes
Hmm.
and the balance of things as well. So like I didn't really want to keep having Jasper and Lucky scenes on page because it made sense because Eden was busy with other people, but then having it I guess on page feel further and further behind with where they were at with Eden.
Yeah.
So there was a big balancing thing for me about trying to make sure everyone felt prioritized on page.
Yeah.
Um, and because they're spending so much time together, like later, I could and would write so many scenes. The biggest one that I was really fought over was the scene in Entwined where it's a fade to black and I didn't want it to be. The scene where they just get back to Bristlebrook, and it's like the kind of night before, and Jasper and Lucky have this conversation, and they finally have that moment of connection between them where Jasper lets his walls down a little bit and kind of softens for Lucky and tells Lucky what, and even though Lucky's in the submissive position, he's caretaking his partner as a priority. And for me, that was going to be one of their big scenes together because they were finally able to be alone. And I knew that I could write their first kind of big scene together there. When I started writing it, I realized that having the spice afterwards meant that the conversation got it kind of got buried a bit by the spice that came after. And I really wanted the focus to be on the changing dynamics between the two of them. And I felt like that they happened in that moment and not the spice. So that's why I chose not to put them there, because I just love that moment between them where they really start behaving like a couple and not just the power dynamics as a couple shift, even despite their very strict kink dynamics, which I really liked. So yeah.
I loved that. I loved that scene.
Me too. Jasper softening, Jasper getting humbled, Jasper softening, Jasper's moments where he has to kind of tumble off his high horse a little bit are my favorite things. Yeah, like I love it so much. I love a proud person getting humbled.
Yes.
A lot.
What's harder to write, an action scene or a smut scene?
It depends on either, but I will say the action scenes often flow out really fast. There's like an adrenaline that comes like I'm in the action scene that I'm like, go, go, go. This is happening and this is happening. And then, they go quite, but also they're also more straightforward to write just because it's really ultimately about just a bunch of things happening, like a bunch of moments that are happening, and yes, you're getting hopefully emotional moments through them, but like they're largely carried by the emotional work that's been done before. So to me, the action moments should be carried by feelings and by a culmination of things that we've had before, whereas in a lot of the spice scenes you're doing a lot of that emotional work as well as the spice. So they, like, some of them I can write really quickly and they flow really easily. Jake's first scene in Entwined, like I wrote in like a day. I've already talked about Bo's medical scene. Dom's big scene with Eden in Entwined, that came like that just what like I just wrote that super, like that just fell out of me. The end, surprisingly, the blindfold scene like at the end also I wrote quite quickly. But a lot of them need more work because there's so much going on with both characters that they need to unpack, and you're like handling the physical stuff along with the emotional stuff takes a little bit more time. But both of those are less difficult than writing just the scenes where they're very emotional, like talking scenes, or like when they're actually doing like that kind of stuff. Those take the longest, especially if there's multiple characters going on.
So I guess leading on to that, is there a character that gave you the most grief while writing? Like, is there someone that just didn't behave on page?
Different characters at different times. There's a few voices that feel more natural to me. Like Eden, like understand her so well. Like she was very easy to write. Lucky has always been really easy for me to write. His voice is quite natural to me. I really enjoy writing Jasper's POV because I really like his register. I like the way he describes things. I like being able to be a bit more wanky maybe in the way that in the things that he's noticing and the way that he describes things and how he looks at the world. I like that in his brain. Jake for a long time gave me a lot of trouble for a few reasons. One, him and a similar thing, like quite masculine men, I guess, and very, but also trying to find their moments of vulnerability that are very natural to them and trying to feel that out took a little bit longer to get to know them, I would say. Jake ultimately, especially when I started finding his humor in things, like the way that like he's kind of got this more off, I guess, offbeat, slightly like darker kind of humor, but like it also comes
Yeah.
out in this very like things happening in spite of his roughness, like the begrudging kind of like where he doesn't want to admit it to himself, but like, or he's trying to not admit it, but like she's actually adorable, or he
Yeah.
actually like just wants to hang out with Casey. In those moments, I like they were really fun to write. But Jake also isn't as observant as some of the other characters, and Dom to a lesser extent the emotional stuff. Like they're not picking up on some of that in the way that someone like Lucky Eden or even Jasper would.
Yeah.
So characters who notice more things are almost easier to write because it's natural for them to kind of apply logical reasoning to other people's actions, whereas
Yeah.
they're less versed, less competent at those kind of things. They're reading the wrong things into it, they're not
Hmm.
noticing at all. So it's difficult to write in that point of view from a storytelling side of things because if you want them to notice something, they're noticing it through their lens, which is so very flawed.
I wanna also say, like, with what you were saying about Jake before and like being begrudgingly, I guess, like his attitude in like book three, I absolutely loved the addition of Casey and what
Yes.
that meant for
Oh,
like his relationship and his character growth. And I know I said before my favorite brute was Jake, but can we just take a moment for Ethel and Ida? Because
Yes.
they were
oh yes.
phenomenal. Ever since I read Ethel and Ida in book two, I'm like, sassy old ladies are my
Yes.
favorite characters to come along with.
I love sassy old ladies. I love having like a whole like mess of femme characters to play with. I love like yeah,
That
I have so
that
much fun with them.
dynamic,
And
that
yeah.
dynamic of like Jake being left behind to obviously rule the keep and everything, and then all the women just being in so support of him. It was just this absolute opposite to what we got to know from like book one, and it was brilliant.
100%
I
agree.
really see Jake as like someone who is just so starved for connection. Like
Mm,
he is just really he's just been so starved for connection and for recognition. And he's had a lot of things ascribed to his behavior and the way that he does things, and because he's already got such a chip on his shoulder every time that they fall into his persona, he doubles down on it. So it's
mhm.
this really toxic kind of defensive battle between him and the other guys. So for me, having those femme characters come in and kind
Yes.
of be a little bit more discerning in what they're seeing, and him actually, despite whatever he's grumbling, despite whatever he's doing, he doesn't have pretenses. He respects people for their skills. Like he is really, despite I guess his gruffness, he's quite like feminist in the side of things of like I expect people to be competent, and if you're competent then you're fine. Like
Yeah.
so he's got that very like gruff, direct kind of like very blunt feelings about that, I guess. He's annoyed by useless people. He's doesn't really care who they are.
Yeah.
So I think him coming in and giving them respect, that maybe they wouldn't have always been given, and vice versa. And him just showing up and doing things and not trying to take over, not just he's just doing things and helping, and whatever he's grumbling about it, they're noticing that. So I think the respect really comes from like, hey, this is the guy who's actually not getting involved with all this, not spending all of his time in this other drama. He's just getting shit done. which is how they've been operating as well. So the mutual respect finally for
Yes.
him and that recognition and then that coming back around, I think so needed for him. He really needed that. And I think they could see that he needed that as well. So yeah, I love that. I
I
love it.
even
He
like
needed
I love that little bit of a miscommunication trope you threw in there when Jake was left alone with like the women. And
that.
by the time like Eden came back and she's jumping into like Lucky's arms,
Oh
and
yeah.
I think it must have been Casey or someone like calls Jake out when he kind of reveals that she's with all of them, or it was Eden who reveals she's actually with all of
Yeah.
them, not just with Jake. And they're just like, oh, so you're the idiot in this like scenario. And he's like, yeah, Loved
Yeah,
it.
look, they're not loyal to it, but I mean, I feel like that's a different that's friendship, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're calling him out on his bad but I think yeah, their biggest issue was a loyalty one. Was they realized that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Well,
I liked it. I liked it. I mean, like, I felt so bad for Eden that she was getting all this like shit and all the women were like hating her. But then when they realized they were in the wrong, it was like, we're so sorry. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't understand this full picture.
be able
Fucking
to
man.
actually, yeah. Yes, being able to admit that they were wrong. But I think that I like how their friendships progress over time as
Yes.
well. I like that the femme characters outside of Eden as well are very like for a lot of them are very just unfazed by a lot
Yeah.
of the guys.
Yes.
They're focused on themselves
Yes.
and
Yes.
um
'Cause I was really
yeah.
worried that some of these women would try and like swoop in on the men. And it
Yeah.
wasn't the case. Like it wasn't
Well,
the
in the
case. Like
background maybe, but they're not getting very far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dom just like not even recognizing when people are flirting with him. It's just like,
Classic.
yeah, he's only yeah, they're all goners for her by then anyway. They had they had no chance. So
Yeah. I loved
yeah,
all of the extra characters. Like, I just loved everyone. Well, obviously not the Reapers, but like I loved everyone else.
yeah, yeah.
So I guess like following on from that, how does it feel now that the series has ended? At least for Eden and Brutes.
It's really bittersweet. Like I remember like after I released it, still feeling like it wasn't done. And when the audiobook finally came out, I was like, that's when I had my big emotional moment over it because I was like, oh, that's the last piece. That was like the last thing for them. I'm really proud of it. Like I didn't obviously you guys know it was like my debut series. So like I really published it when I was just in my day job, like just wanting to get it out, and really I didn't expect anything much to come of it. But so to see that so many people have really enjoyed it to the point of getting tattoos on their body, um, it's so incredibly like humbling for me. And I've been able to quit my day job and be able to like make a living off this now. And I mean, hopefully that continues. But for now I can, and it's pretty amazing. So I owe a lot to the Brutes and to you guys, the readers who are, making that possible. So I feel really proud, really emotional whenever I think about it because that's my first series. So I feel like they're always really special to me forever because of like, I mean, I think all my books will be special to me, hopefully, but like a very extra special for being the first. And from a personal side of things, I also feel like I feel like it's really being able to write a series like this, and I've discovered so much of my voice and what I want to say, and it's really helped me grow a lot as a person.
Mhm.
That was something that I didn't expect at all. Like I kind of thought of it as a way of me channeling myself into it, not as something that would change me back. So that's been a really like lovely and painful but great thing that has happened as well. So yeah, I'm
That's,
excited to get into the next ones, but yeah,
that's so
a bit of
wholesome.
Yeah.
very emotional.
And like, we're so proud of you
Yeah.
and everything that you've achieved. Like, you've been able to quit your day job. Like, do you know how amazing that is?
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, cry, go on.
Do it. Do it.
You made
But
us
what
cry. I think it's only fair.
I'll cry, all right? I like, man, I got too invested. I was like, oh, yeah,
We
baby.
are really proud of you, though.
Thank
I'm just
you.
gonna single clap over here for you.
No, yeah, it's good.
No,
I'm
it's
glad.
well
Thanks, guys.
deserved, and like your writing, like it deserves the spotlight that it
Yeah.
has. Like it deserves the fan base that you've built, and like
Oh,
we're really excited to obviously see what you've got coming up next. But before we talk about that, we do have some fun questions that we want to
hit me.
ask.
Yes, all right, let's
So,
go.
okay, first one, I don't know. It's a little bit. It depends how you answer. Would you survive your own world?
No.
Neither.
No,
Straight
I
up.
don't think so either. I've got zero survival skills.
I would love to say yes. Like I love dystopia. I love
Mhm.
post-apocalyptic things. I love those kind of worlds. I love reading about them. I love watching them. I love I love the survival aspect of it and the high stakes um but no, I don't have the skills. I don't even drive. Like I like I just like I am just like a walking victim. Like I would just yeah, I would have to get real lucky and find my brutes like day one.
Yeah.
And because as much as I would like to say Mr. Quinn would be able to do the job there, he has about as many practical skills as I do. And great he can drive at least. But yeah, great human. We're dead in the water though. So
That's so funny. And
Yeah.
I love the honesty. It's always just like you kind of hope you'd survive, but like realistically, no.
Let's be honest.
I'd be the one eating like the poisonous berries without
Same.
realizing it.
yeah, just
Honestly.
like look, I gotta look, I would try.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Yeah, give it a red hot crack, but
Yeah.
I'd be taken out pretty soon.
something like really stupid as
Yeah.
well too.
Yeah.
I
I'd do something
trip.
dumb.
Like I just trip, fall into a pitchfork or something, and that's it. Like
That's literally it.
Yeah.
I tripped and broke my foot like last year. Like I'm dead.
I
I'm gone.
remember I saw your cast. Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah.
It's been like a freaking year and she's still in recovery.
Oh, ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. But yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah,
So
we're
yeah,
done.
sadly no. I'll take my survival tips, but
Yeah.
I don't know that they'll do the job.
Oh, I love this question. Okay. If your villain had to give a TED talk, what would it be on? But Alistair, we don't care about Sam.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to hear Sam talk.
Yeah.
Well, for one, Alistair isn't much of a speech giver. So I don't think it would be rather brief as far as TED
Yeah.
Talks go. But I think he's going to be saying something along the lines of how loyalty is everything, but trusting the wrong people is the quickest way to die. I think he's in this empires are built off loyalty,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, you need to have the right people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were good. You said you're gonna have a brilliant response for him and you delivered.
Alistair keeps things close to his chest, really,
Yes.
really close. He's not here for the softness and for the open invitation. Yeah.
So like I feel like we know the answer for this one already is gonna be lucky. So if your characters had a group chat, who would be starting the most drama? But I guess like who would be instigating the drama alongside Lucky?
I already know this
Yeah,
answer too.
you know what? I actually don't think it'd be lucky.
Oh!
I reckon I'm gonna throw one out here. Bo is an absolute gossip, right? Like
Oh,
Bo
Yes.
and Bo's sneaky, like he's got a sneakiness to him as well. Like I think Bo's there for the and he's got sisters, man. Like
Yeah.
he's grown
It's
up
so
with like
Bo.
sisters. He's like
I was so wrong with the Lucky approach.
no, but like
L-
Lucky would cause chaos, but
Yes.
I feel
Lucky's
like
pranking
drama.
in the background.
Mm.
Yeah, Lucky's egging it on. Lucky's like memeing through it. He's
Yeah.
like it's
He's the
Lucky.
instigator.
Yeah. Lucky like never shuts up. Like Lucky will be the one that's like constantly like pinging things and giving you like all of the irrelevant stuff. I think he'll cause like he's chaos. But I think Bo's the one. And I can also see Jasper being like needling.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Jasper's
100%.
a little like catty little needler. Like
Oh my God.
I think there's a few of them that are just in there for you know Dom's just like
Yeah.
yeah, how
Jake
do I
probably
delete
wouldn't even
this?
open it.
Jake's just throwing his phone against a wall.
Yeah.
Jake's the one leaving the group chat and then being
Yeah.
re-invited
Yeah, and
to it
Lucky's just
every
inviting
time.
him back.
Oh,
That'd be so
yeah,
much fun.
yeah. That would be a fun group chat. I would pay. I would pay to be in that.
So we've obviously seen teasers. We've talked a little bit of Sinners of Cyanide. What can we
Mhm.
expect?
Okay, so we obviously Entwined had the big plot twist at the end at the
Yeah, it
end.
does.
Are we okay for minor spoilers of book 3 and
Go for it.
like all
Totally,
of that?
yes.
So
Totally.
okay, so and this is a thing. My problem with like marketing this book as well. It's like you really need to have read the series before you read this book. But so we know that there was a whole bunch of shit going on with the Sinners in the meantime. So Alistair and Matteo are it's going to shadow book 3 for the most part.
Okay.
So it is showing their side of the story and where they end up, and it will follow on a little bit after that.
I
But
like this.
it's we're picking up at the end of book 2. So we are picking up after Sam has been hung and the Brutes have left in defeat from Alistair has humbled them. Heather and Bentley have been taken hostage, and that's where we're picking up the Sinners of Cyanide. So we are seeing everything on their end. The war, the chaos, we are seeing everything they're plotting. We are seeing all of the fights with Heather being captive and Bentley, and then how they get to their end point. But Heather has obviously got a grudge against Alistair. An ongoing grudge is probably too soft of a word. She hates him with every part of her soul. Like he killed Tommy,
Mm-hmm.
and she needs him to die. So she's quite happy to be captive at this point, because it means she is close enough to kill him. So we are getting very, very intense enemies to lovers on that side of things. How Alistair feels about the whole situation, you'll have to read and find out. And then we have Bentley and Matteo, obviously in there causing chaos as well. There's Sulky Boy and the big giant, who is not as straightforward as maybe you might expect him to be. I will say that they are all sinners in their own way, and they all belong on that morally grey pedestal. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of a lot of that. It is going to be very, very high angst, high emotion. It starts with punches in the gut. We are starting really raw, and we're not getting better for a while. So
Cool.
it's going to be full on, and there's a lot happening in Sinners that was happening behind the scenes, and you'll see. Hopefully, if I've planned it and plotted as I've tried to do, you'll see where it slots in. Like where it slots in with the major turning points of Brutes, you'll say, oh, that's what that meant, and that's what that conversation was, and that's what this thing was happening, like we
Yeah.
saw this moment on the screens, or we heard about this. You'll see all of those things play out and what actually happened, what it all meant.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah.
Okay. I have several follow-up questions from that.
Yeah,
One
hit
is
me.
just a guilty pleasure of mine. Will we see any male action in book one, or are you gonna make me wait?
Well, it's a single book. So it is yeah, so it's a single book. So you'll get the whole story in one. So yes, you
Amazing,
are
because that was
well,
gonna be another follow-up question.
yes. So Mateo and Bentley, yes. Yes.
Amazing. So
Yes.
obviously Lube will be present.
Lube will be present. There will be more of the lube. And yeah, I mean, look, there's going to be slightly less, no, and not slightly, there will be less spice than in Brutes because of the nature of
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's like they're just they're not jumping. They're slow burn.
Yeah.
They are not jumping. They're not happening
There is
anytime
trauma.
soon.
Yeah, and I'm ready for it.
There's trauma
That
they have to overcome. It makes sense.
totally. And there's that like this is we're not going for this is not like body betray. This is not them like this is not her wanting him at
Yeah.
the first and stroke fighting with. She wants to kill him. Like
Yeah.
she wants him
Love it.
dead.
Hot.
She hates him to an obsessive degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, Mateo and Bentley don't hate each other quite to that degree. But Mateo has some other things that he needs to overcome, some feelings that he needs to work through first, and Bentley is along for the ride. On his own.
Yeah, he
head.
is.
So,
Literally.
Okay.
I will say, Mateo is also very touch-starved, lonely, sulky little boy, and he has a lot of big feelings that he needs to figure out. But I love him, and Bentley is very direct and also very not. He's very crafty. He is a very sneaky, schemy man.
Yeah.
And not as blunt as he might lead everyone to believe.
Okay. And okay, I feel like I'm in class right now. Like, mother, yes, I have another I have another question. I'm like on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
Curiosity. Once you finish writing the book, are you going to release a tandem reading guide so that we can read Sinners and book 3 kind of like, you can read this
That's a great idea.
because I
might
would
do that.
I love tandem reading books. I love discovering like this timeline is happening alongside this timeline.
Yeah, I might do that. Yeah, there's going to be there's some things that have been collapsed in book 3 that will be shown in more detail in the war at the end was obviously quite much briefer in Entwined for obvious reasons. We are concealing a lot of things, but in Sinners we'll get a more extended version of seeing what those beats actually meant in the other side. So it won't be like a chapter for chapter kind of thing, but I could totally do a reading a reading guide that will
that's
kind
cool.
of
I was gonna say, even if you don't, I'm sure somebody will.
That's a great idea, though. I think it would probably be handy as well to say, hey, this is like the anchor points of like the timeline, and here's where we are. Yeah.
So I guess with that, will Eden and the Brutes they probably would make a bit of an appearance because it's flowing.
Yeah.
I answered the own question.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Cool.
they will, because it's so closely linked with that story. There's also some really key things like Thomas, we know he's dead, but he is still very much a present feeling character in this series. He is so intensely present to Heather, and there are things that are unfinished with him that need to come full circle with the Brutes as well. So there are like unfinished business, the way that they left. There's a lot of kind of things there that didn't get resolved. So yeah, The Brutes are
Something
there
going
for
on.
practical reasons, but there are emotional reasons for him, yeah, for them needing to be there as well. So
I
yeah.
like.
Mm.
And we've got our full audio cast back for it. So
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, they'll be there
Amazing.
doing their thing.
Amazing.
I'm ready.
Okay, so I don't know. I feel like I kind of already know this is gonna like hurt in some capacity, but like obviously without spoilers, what kind of emotional damage are we in for with Sinners? Should
So
I get the tissue box and the chocolates ready before I pick up? Okay.
Like, should I call my therapist in
Should I just book them in advance? Like,
okay, I will say that there were some things that I feel in hindsight that I may have pulled my punches on in Brutes.
mm-hmm.
And as I progress as a writer, I am feeling the need to do that less. Yeah, it's going to hurt. It's
Destroy me. I'm here
Yeah.
for it.
fuck us up? I'm ready.
they are designed for it. Yeah,
I'm just
Heather
like
and
Lucky
Alistair
hurt
are
me.
designed for pain. Both of them.
Oh
Amazing.
Literally though.
my God. We're ready and we're not ready.
Yeah, I think that they're just both Heather and Alistair have they've both lived a life of pain. They are both built for it. They are both used to operating in distrust in a very lonely kind of way. They're both extremely self-reliant, both extremely proud, and neither one of them is comfortable with or have the emotional language to be soft in the way that I would argue any of the Brutes are. Like
Mm.
even Jake has so much softness in him to me. The way that he has always loved and cared for his brother, the way that he is with everybody around him. Um, Jasper is so gentle when he needs to be and defaults there with so much care when people are hurting. Dom has so much tenderness like when he is being soft. I don't think those things come very easily to Heather or Alistair, and if they were to feel those things, I don't think that they're used to feeling them, and I don't think that they're comfortable with it. And I think
Yeah.
that kind of feeling and those kind of things might have been something that Heather might have found a language for if she'd stayed with Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think whatever soft parts of herself she had died with him. So, yeah, it's gonna hurt.
I mean, we are in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there a genre or a trope you'd like to explore in the future?
Romanticy. Yeah, so I am planning on doing that with pirates. So
Yes.
yes. So yes, in short. And look, there's lots of others I would like to keep going down as well. Trying to choose what I was going to do next was and is really, really hard. I have got so many ideas, so many things that I want to write, so many things that are like tugging at me to write, that choosing, as you know, a white shoes girly, it is really hard to kind of pick a lane and
Yes.
go with it. Like there are contemporary kink club type books that I would really like to write. There's big sweeping MF romantasy that I would like to write. There's white shoes romantasy, which is what I ultimately decided on. But yeah, look, there's sci-fi romances that I like. Yeah, there's so much. There's so much. There's a lot I would
So
like to
excited.
write.
I'm
Just
excited for
having
all of it.
enough time
Whatever
and,
you decide to write, we are sat.
Yeah.
Aw, thanks, guys.
Okay, so before we could completely move on from the, genres and what you would like to explore further, can we talk about pirates
Yes,
a little bit? Because, like, Christy told me, like, you were going to write, like, a pirates book, and I was like, oh my God, I did not know I needed this from, not just, like, from anyone, but from Becky Quinn. Yes.
Well, I am really excited about it because obviously narrator's book so far out in advance. I've already had to start looking at even casting and getting all of that sorted. So if you have thoughts, feelings, opinions on who you'd like to see on a cast, now's your chance. Yeah, panic. Yeah, anyone can send that through to me soon. There's one character in particular that I'm really struggling to cast. So it is going to be pirate white shoes romantasy. Very warped on. We're talking ultimate, like completely different worlds. We're a very, different magic system, but we're gonna have five love interests again. It was gonna be four, but then one of them really bullied his way in. So he really just like forced his way in there.
Loop.
Yeah, yeah, Loop, exactly. Which we'll need to figure out a fantasy equivalent for.
Magic.
Magic. But we've got Savvy is a very different FMC to either Eden or Madison, Heather. She's very much a pirate. She is a debauched, thieving, troublemaking brat.
Sold.
Yes.
Look, it's a very patriarchal society that the pirates very much live outside of. She's got an all-femme pirate crew that on the Notorious, and they are all fucking fabulous, I will say. They're all characters in their like own right, have their own arcs, have their own like big things going on, their own powers, their own hang up. Like they are as much of a story as the rest of them. Then we have the Pirates of the Disrepute. So the Pirates of the Disrepute, we've got the biggest, baddest pirates on the portal seas. So this is a portal world situation where there is magic, sea magic, like Mesmerdine, which are like mermaids, I guess, the closest equivalent, where they can portal into other worlds, the seas of other worlds. So their ships can travel through. We've got all of our main characters we get introduced to them hard, fast, and early. This is not like a falling into a harem situation like Eden kind of came into the house. I wouldn't call these guys enemies to lovers, but rivals for sure. Because there is treasure, a big old treasure hunt that they are going to be competing for. We've got a like bumbling, overexcited, freckled, bespeckled, like Vale, Lord Valentine, Byrne. He is absolutely adorable. He's coming in. He really has a lot of unpacking to do for himself. All of our main characters are queer except for Atlas. And we will have two relationships within the group. Yeah, so we've got our cartographer, we've got Vale. He's from the mainland, so he's really got a lot of things to unpack in himself. He really wants to be like respected in society as like a real man of worth, but he's really excited to be joining to come to a pirates crew, but he's got some secrets, and he's got some very secrety secrets that are going to cause a lot of trouble. We've got Griffith Payne. He's an ex-rebel leader. He is gruff as a nickname, and he is big, tattooed. He is like running the Isle of the Pirates. He is like the pirate king. He started a rebellion against the mainland, like that, transformed world. He is like very big, gruff kind of, he likes control. So he's going to be very fun. Savvy likes to push his buttons a lot.
Love.
Savvy also really needs Vale's help, but she's not really one to ask, so she might kidnap him a little bit. Then we've got Ronan Harrow, who is the captain of the Disrepute. He is the big opposite. He is ruthless. He is cunning. He is absolutely cold. to his bones because he is also an ex-mer and he desperately, desperately wants to return to the sea. But he is locked on land. So he is trying to return, but he's also in love with Finn, his quartermaster, hedonist, sensualist. He is cutting. He is a fear witch, so he can feel other people's and hear other people's fears, and he can manipulate them as well. He and Ronan are have been together, but he, as badly as Ronan wants to leave, Finn wants him to stay with him. So a lot of angst, and then Savvy's ex-husband Atlas might pop up out of the woodwork, and she left him. I'll just say Atlas is Atlas is a problem. And Atlas is who bullied his way into this book. And Atlas burned his way into creation because he really wanted her back. So so we've got a lot of people, a lot of competing. They all want this object of power for different reasons, very important reasons to them, and they are going to do everything that they can to get it, whether it's lying, cheating, or fucking their way into getting it.
I'm fucking ready.
I am sad. I am already so emotionally invested with each and every one of those characters.
Like in my head, it's like it's giving me a little bit of like Pirates of the Caribbean, a little bit of like Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and then there's still so much more that I'm just like, it's unique in its own world.
There's a lot of like those kind of influences there. Like definitely Pirates, definitely Treasure Planet. There's like that Milo vibe from Los Atlantis. There's that Tulio and Miguel kind of vibes in there from Road to El Dorado. Like we've got lots of like these kind of like really fun, and Savvy's a lot of fun. Savvy's also very complicated. Like she this is a very feminist story as well. Like this is going to be a very femme forward. This is ultimately like it's a they're really focused very much on themselves. Like Tana is a world that needs heroes right now, and they've really just got a lot of very self-interested pirates instead. So there's like a big progression through the series on how that all plays out, and this idea of a woman's selfishness in particular, and what is selfish versus what is independent, and what is standing in community and having the ability to think about others and more than yourself, and where the balance of these things are. It's like there's a lot that she's fighting with. Savvy is quite proudly independent. She's very, very concerned with her own freedom and with treasure and with her own name and being known. She's like quite confident and competent in a lot of ways, but there's a lot of vulnerability under there around the idea of being trapped in a marriage and being trapped by love.
Yeah.
More particularly, having to give up and carve away at so much of yourself to be with the person that you love, and I guess what that means for herself and what that would mean for her life. So yeah, she's a lot of fun though. She and the other women, they are fun, and we see a lot more of the femme friendships really strongly, as much as the guys in this as well.
I'm so excited.
So being a plotter, how many books are we expecting in this
3.
world?
It was 4. I think I can do it in 3. I have 3 really clear arcs that I want to tell. They're going to be big books there.
And I know, like, it's fine.
I was like, look, I could do 4 and try to keep the word counts down, but and it was a similar thing with Brutes, where I'm like, I've got these 3 clear arcs, start to finish, that I have in my head. So I could split them up at other points, but it's going to be like the arc would be interrupted. It's kind of like I could have finished Entwined after Alistair rocked up with the Sinners and they did the whole thing, and I could have extended the like battle out a little bit more. I could have done that and had it been 4 books. And some things might have had a little bit more room to breathe, but it would have been all of their arcs for that book had it come full circle. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it would have been as satisfying of a read. So
yeah. No, we get it. We get it. Because I'm about to say, like, what you put into each of those books felt perfect for that book. Even though some of them left on like giant cliffhangers, but whatever. Like, I've forgiven you for that. So, okay, so I know, like, obviously Sinners is like your main focus at the moment.
Yes.
When could we expect Pirates?
I'm aiming to rapid release them next year. So my big priority for this year was to get Sinners out, obviously.
Yeah.
But then my plan is to just write through the books if possible, and then ideally I would finish them, have the audio recorded at like the first book at the end of this year, the second book at the very start of next year, and then the third one early to mid next year. So then I would be able to release from maybe March, then June, then August or something. Like I'm still having to plan it out. It depends a little bit how the writing goes, but ideally
depends on your holiday schedule, your lockdown schedule, you know.
Totally. If I can just if I can lock in and not be interrupted by releases, because I do find whenever I have a release, I have to stop writing and then getting back into the flow of it's really hard. So if I can just stay in my zone, that's my stretch goal. But I've already kind of ruined part of it by moving house the start of this year. That really kind of threw everything for a loop. But you know, we're still getting there. So that's my aim. So we'll see how it actually plays out. But that's what I mean.
Either way, I'll be impatiently waiting.
Yeah. So. I'm ready. I'm there.
I definitely want to do a rapid release though, because for my sake and for everyone else's sake, I don't want those big stretches between books. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we can do rapid release and simultaneous with the audio. So,
we'll see. I guess following on from that, is there anything exciting coming up? Any events this year?
No, I've actually not done any. Well, personally, I am moving house, so that will be exciting for me. But no, as far as events go, I'm not doing any events this year because I wanted to focus on writing as many books as I possibly can. And then I figured once I had the books in my hot little hands, then I could start doing events again because I'll actually have something to show with them. So I have got one in 2027. I think it's called Books and Brimstone. It's Stephanie Holmes is doing it. And it's going to be a vampire ball themed fantasy vampire ball. That should be really fun. So I'll have a look. I'm excited. I will be doing that. I think from memory that's like maybe March 2027.
Oh, so how perfect. For book one.
Exactly. So hopefully I'd have it like kind of in time for that. But then I don't have anything else booked for 2027 yet. I might do one other event later in the year. And then 2028 I definitely will. So I'll try to for 2027, I think. Because if that's releases and stuff, but I've not been looking at it yet.
Oh yeah, we don't mind you being in your little writing cave for a bit because like the ideas that you have spectacular, and I need them.
Yes, I want to give them to you guys. Also, Eliza is gonna kick. Elisa, my other peer, is going to kick my ass for saying that much about pirates. She'll be like, I'm meant to be slow teasing all of this.
It's fine. It's fine. It's teasing. You haven't given much away.
Yeah, good. Fine. It's exclusive. There you go.
So, before we wrap up completely, obviously we know where to stalk you, but did you want to like plug your socials? What's the best way for readers to stay up to date with you?
Yeah, So I'm on Rebecca Quinn, author, all one word, on all of my socials. So Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been updating Facebook very reliably lately. But I will be trying to get back once I'm more in the writing flow, because I find that I'm in Facebook most to give excerpts and kind of longer form teasers and things like that. So
Yeah.
I do that most when I'm writing, like when I'm really in the cave. But Instagram is probably the most up to date and where I post the most. TikTok intermittently, but not that often. And my newsletter, which you can sign up for on my website.
Yeah.
That goes out once a month. I'm not very spammy because I can't be bothered.
That's fine.
You get once a month in special events. You get newsletter info. So yeah.
Yay. Well, yeah, we'll put all of those in like the episode link so people can
Awesome.
also find you and stalk you just as often as we do. And we love your socials as well
Yes.
too. But I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. It's been so
Oh,
much fun. Like I've
thank
done a
you.
few of these now, and you guys are just really comfortable to talk to, and just really, and really well laid out questions, and like well prepared. So thank you. I really
No.
appreciate it.
Thank
It's really
thank
nice to
you.
get.
Like I'm just so glad you now I'm stuttering. I was just gonna say, no, it just feels right to have you on the show. Like your book was one of like our first episodes, so it's like we're finally coming like full circle on this, and it feels right.
Yes.
It feels right for me too. Like you guys have given me so much support as well, and just like how much that means and how much it meant, like especially like early on, and to have you guys still come through and still be such, like, that means so much to, like, to me personally, and I really appreciate it. Like genuinely really appreciate it. So
Easy support. Your books are
Yeah.
amazing. So
Exactly. Your writing's incredible. You're incredible. We love you. That's it.
just a love train all over.
it's fine. We're here to hype. Oh, well, I'm happy.
I'm happy. I don't want to
Well,
stop.
have you?
I know. Neither do I.
We can do it again after Sinners. How's that?
Please,
Yes.
we'd love to.
Deal.
Yeah.
Check in.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys.
Oh, no, thank you. It means a lot.
Yeah.
Me too. So,
All right.
bye,
Okay.
guys. See ya.
That was so much fun. Like, so much fun.
I am just gobsmacked.
Yeah.
Absolutely gobsmacked.
Yeah. I mean, like, there was so many questions I feel like that we had that we just needed like answers straight from the horse's mouth.
Yes.
That's a weird sentence.
It is a weird sentence. She's not a horse. She's a human.
But you know the phrase. And I'm finally glad I got to have my say about the whole lube situation in Bristlebrook.
Yeah, I didn't know that was such a strong feeling for you, but it checks out. I'm just so happy it finally happened.
Same.
Like, she's one of our favorite authors.
And she's just so wholesome to talk to as well, too. And I seriously cannot wait for what she's got in plan for us next.
Oh my God, I am sat, I am there, I am ready.
So, I mean, look, you've heard it from us before, but we're going to say it again.
So, if you're looking for a why choose post-apocalyptic plot with smut, and the smut fucking delivers,
then we highly recommend Rebecca Quinn's Brutes of Bristlebrook series. But honestly, anything this woman writes,
yes,
we're there.
100%.
Until next time,
Happy reading.
bye.